Good afternoon, we are the Javin team, and we are going to propose a forecasting model named Forecast Model Adaptable to Different KPIs. For this model, we will pretend to be contractors hired by an investment fund that wants to create a forecasting model in order to make an investment decision regarding a soft drinks company. So in this model, we will analyze information, revenues from the 5 companies. This information goes from the first trimester of 2009 to the third trimester of 2023. Okay, now it is important to mention that this model can also be used for different KPIs, not only for revenue, but like EBITDA, operating income, net income, etc.
Okay, so first off, to be able to create our financial model using the Python programming language, we need to import all of the libraries that are necessary for us to conduct our project. As we can see, we abbreviated some of the packages, so it's easier to identify and use later on when we're programming.
Okay, so in the section above, we import the database that contains different year status from all the quarterly companies that we are seeing, that are Coca-Cola Company, PepsiCo, Keurig Dr. Pepper, Monster Beverage Corp, and National Beverage Corp.
Now, in this section, we are able to see the revenue movements of the 5 companies during the whole database. And we are also showing which periods compose the test region, which is this little purple area. And we also said before that this test region is made by the last 15 quarters of the database. In this section, we are going to show the decomposition of the 5 companies using a multiplicative method. Okay, so some things worth mentioning are, for example, that the 5 companies have seasonality and almost none of them have white noise, which means that the revenues have a very steady movement. The only company that does have white noise is KDP, Dr. Pepper, which if we see in the year 2017 and 2018, the revenues have a downward, and upward movement before continuing the upward trend. In this section, we are going to show the seasonal plots of the 5 companies, and we are going to show the movement of the 4 quarters of every single year. But it is not worth mentioning since we already saw the seasonality in the decomposition plots before.
In this section above, we established that quarters will compose the train database and what quarters will compose the test region. Okay. For the sections below, in relation to the projections, this forecast predict anticipated revenue value in the test area, employing the various methods to be demonstrated, and the concerning to the main absolute percentage error. This metrics indicates the expected percentage of error associated with each forecasting method. A higher MAPE suggests a poorer forecast accuracy.
Okay, so in these next sections, we can see the 3 forecast methods, their MAPE values, and the forecast plots. We are not going to explain them right now. This is a mean forecast, and then this is a naive forecast. These are the plots with a naive forecast and the actual revenue. And this is the drift method and its forecast values and the plots. Okay, so if we compare the MAPE values of the 3 methods, we can see that the lowest MAPE value is the one of Dr. Pepper from the drift forecast with 5.64%. Now, if we want to see the Dr. Pepper plot using the drift forecast method, here we have it, and we can actually see, well, the blue line are the revenues of Dr. Pepper, and the orange line is the drift forecast for Dr. Pepper. So we can visually see that the prediction using this method is actually very close to the actual movement of the revenue. This means that this company with a drift forecast has a better chance of having a correct prediction of the revenues for the test region. So in conclusion, we would recommend or suggest to the investment fund to invest in Dr. Pepper, taking into consideration the drift forecast